We're officially live. Happy Template Thursday. Happy Template Thursday. I need to make that a song for real. Welcome to the live, guys. Let me share my screen. Welcome to today's live, ladies. I am super excited today because we are going to be doing a mini lesson on something that you guys have been asking about. So today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a professional order form using Google Forms. I'm also going to give you a little bit of tips on other ways that you can use Google Form too, aside from order forms. So if you're that creative who owns a business and you've been looking for a way to kind of streamline your process, this is a good live for you. And before we jump into it, today's live is sponsored by the Template Club. The Template Club is where you go to get all of your template resources, including resources, templates for parties and your crafty or creative business. So I'm super excited. I'm gonna give it probably like a minute to see just to kind of give the Crafty Sisters some time to join us. So, but again, today's live is sponsored by the Template Club. If you already are not a member, definitely consider joining. All of these Template Thursday lives that we do usually goes in there for the members to be able to access the template that we're making today for the Google form is going to go in there for the ladies to be able to use who's a part of the Template Club. It's super useful if you are the Crafty Sis who's been purchasing our templates and you love our templates. This is the best way to save in order to get the templates. Hello, Karen. Welcome in. Welcome in, Crafty Sis. So I'm just going to scroll down just to show you guys a couple of reviews before we get started on the live. And you're going to want to stay till the end because, again, I'm going to be showing you guys how to use Google to create Google Forms for your business to be able to streamline your process. But this is what some of the Crafty Sisters are saying so far about the Template Club. So far, all 5 stars. One Crafty Sis says, I absolutely love the Template Club. The templates are beautiful, creative, and easy to use. They save me so much time and keep my creativity flowing. Definitely a crafter's dream. We have another Crafty Sis who says, I love it here. She is no gatekeeper. I love the lives and how you brainstorm with us. Thank you for everything you do to teach us Crafty Sisters. I'm glad the group is small and the interaction is 100, but I also know you will grow fast because the others are missing out. Thank you, Crafty Sisters. They left us some reviews, so that's always helpful. So I'm going to show you guys. Hello, Crafty Sis Denise. I'm going to show you guys what we created so far for the month of August. So all of August has been dedicated to business. So that's for the ladies in here who are creatives. You know how to make beautiful custom items, no matter what it is. And you just want to sharpen the skill with the business side of things. So for the month of August, the Template Club members did ask for our focus to be around business. So let me show you guys really quickly the templates that we created so far, and then we'll jump into creating that Google form. So let me show you guys. Let me switch screens. So the first one we created was a landing page template. So again, the business side of things are super important too, right? So if you're that person who's wanting those consistent sales, you want to be able to really just show what you have to offer. Some of these things are things that can help you do that. So let me show you guys. I'm going to share this tab. So far, we created a landing page template, and this is how it looks. Super nice. Of course, can be customized to match whatever it is that you offer. This particular one is made in the example of a party favor creator. So we have all of the different specs here. We have the packages here. And of course, you can edit all of these templates. This one is available currently on my website if you're not in the Template Club. But if you're a Template Club member, this download is available for you with no additional cost. We have the product gallery. We have the meet the designer section, frequently asked questions. And again, this can be edited so you can switch it up to make it match whatever's relevant to you and your business. So that's the first one. The second template we created was a social media marketing template bundle. So let me show you guys. The color palette that we created was this beautiful pink, blue, and white color. These are some of the templates that was included. We have our new product template. We have our quick tips template. We have our order process where you can put in your steps for your customers to order. We have your contact form. We have a quote one as well, one for testimonials, a couple of different versions, one for when you attend different vendor events or different events in general, or if you're throwing your own event. We have one for scanning the code, no matter what that is. For this case, we put the product catalog. We have a new arrival template in here. We have a zoom in to get a secret message template in here. And then we have a FAQ that we also turn into a Q&A. Oh, we have more. This and that. So these are filler templates, y'all. More new arrivals that we also turn into party packages. An important update. Oh, it's still going. Shop our best sellers. And this is how you can make it cute. So that's all the templates included in this bundle. So again, my goal as your creative coach is to leave you no excuses. Leave my crafty sisters no room to make excuses. There's no reason why you shouldn't be showing up for your business, right? So you can't be that person that's saying, Mona, I don't have anything to post because I gave you post ideas. This is another template bundle that we created, and this is for packaging. So we have a thank you card in here. I don't know why this one doesn't scroll like the other one. Let me see if I do full view. Let's see. We have a thank you card in here, and we created this in several different ways as well. So let me go back. So I showed you guys how to make it more plain. I showed you guys how to break it up so that you can print forth to a sheet. And by the way, all of these live replays are available. If you missed any of them, I literally went through the whole steps on how to create all of this. So no excuses, guys. We have a social media one. We have a t-shirt packaging to kind of give those instructions on how to kind of keep your t-shirt fresh. Let's see what else. We have care instructions for other things as well, custom items. That again, this is all editable. So if you have different things that's not a t-shirt or a tumbler, there's general care instructions in here, as well as you can edit this to switch it up. What else do we have in here? Let me go to the next page. We have we included this in here as well in a different color, but it kind of just tells you what's included in your package. So if you can include it as something cute for your customers to be able to know what's in their package along with their invoice. We have a loyalty card template in here, and I showed you guys how to put how to print front and back. We have a decal application for those people who sell UVDTF decals. What else? That's the text that we use. I included some of these t-shirts in here for different colors because I know different business owners have different things. I also included some thank you packaging stickers in here as well. And again, this part isn't on the live, but I did include it afterwards. So for all the crafty sisters who are downloading the template, it's in there. Let's see what else. And this is just giving you instructions that the template is general. You can edit, remove instructions as needed. And then all of this is also in a black and white version too, just in case your brand colors are different. So that's all the templates that we created so far. Again, today I'm going to show you guys how to create that Google form so that you can be able to make it super easy for people to order from you. So let's see. Good morning, Crafty Sis Tracy. Hello, Crafty Sis Alicia. Sis, this template is so helpful. Thank you again for this. You're welcome. Look, that's my goal, y'all. My goal is to show you guys that it can be easier, right? You can show up for your business. It doesn't have to be. And some of these things, I'm going back to this screen just to, while I'm talking, so y'all not looking at a blank screen. But everything I do, y'all, is to literally show you that you can do it too. These are all things that helps with systems to be able to help you make things run smooth, to be able to help make it easier for yourself, because most of the people who are entrepreneurs, they're people who you're doing everything by yourself, right? So imagine having to be the marketer, the social media person, the HR department. Well, not HR because you don't have a team yet, but the the customer service department. You're doing everything. And the only way to make it easy so that you don't give up and so that you can continue to show up for yourself is to put systems in place. So that's why I do all of this, because I know what are some of the things to put in place. So why not share it with my crafty sisters so that you guys can kind of lighten the load on yourself? And I'm giving you everything that I wish I had. So take full advantage, y'all. Take full advantage of all of the information that I shared, because literally, if I had all of this, if somebody was giving me all these blueprints and all these templates and all these things to make my life easier as an entrepreneur, I would be further than I am now. So the information that I'm giving y'all should be skyrocketing me right now. Putting that out there. Hello, Crafty Sis Danny. All right, y'all. So are y'all ready for the Google Forms? Before we do that, though, I just want to share with you guys. Y'all see how school did add a section for you guys to leave. Let me see. Let me say got it. Okay. So yeah, I can't offer no incentives to y'all for doing this review, but it's not on school. I'm not posting it on school. So if you can, the crafty sisters who are a part of this and you're loving the templates, go here and leave a review. Drop a comment if you can too. Guys, drop a comment like these crafty sisters did. If you find these templates helpful, if you find it useful, drop me a comment to let me know. And also, if you are a part of the creative circle, do the same thing over there, y'all. This helps me out and it helps people to know that this is a great membership and that you get a lot of value out of it. Okay, so again, for those of you watching now or catching the replay, all of the templates that I just showed you guys are in here for Template Club members to be able to access. Okay. Hello, Crafty Sis Lyric. All right, are y'all ready for me to create the Google Forms? Can I get a drum roll if y'all are ready? Let me go to the next screen. So let me start from the beginning for y'all. So the ladies who are a part of the Template Club did ask for me to also help them with, I know y'all said pricing sheet and order forms, but the pricing sheet I feel like is a little bit easier for you guys to do. So I'm just going to jump into the form instead. So what you're going to want to do, oh, I don't see no drum rolls. Oh, I see some drums. Can I get some more drums? Drum roll, please. Okay, I see some likes. Okay, let's get into it. All right, first thing you're going to want to do is go to Google, and you can either search right here because this shows you all the Google apps, but sometimes it doesn't. So let me see. Yeah, I don't see forms here, which is fine because you can just type it in. So I'm just going to put Google Forms, and it should be the first thing that pops up. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. I can't see the comments as I'm creating, but I am going to toggle back and forth to be able to go back for you guys to be able to see. Okay, so first thing is going to Google and typing in forms. The second thing you're going to want to do is click on blank form. Although Google does have some templates in here that you can use. So let's say you just wanted to get contact information from your customer, you could use this one. If you wanted to create an RSVP list, you could do this one. If you wanted to do a party invite, t-shirt sign up, event registration, they have these templates, and they also have a template gallery that you can use. But normally for me to create what I need, I normally just do it from scratch. So we're going to do a blank form. Of course, go through, look through the templates. If there's something in there that you need, take advantage. But I'm going to click on blank forms. So now it kind of gives us a blank form. From here, you're able to add your questions here. You would have to save your form. It usually saves it under your profile. That way, when people do respond to your forms, you'll be able to see all the responses here. And then, of course, you can switch up the settings. So you can make a quiz. You can make the form a quiz if you wanted to. You can manage how the responses are collected by choosing your settings here, and all the stuff that you can choose as far as your settings. Normally, I just leave it with the default settings, and then I switch it up if needed towards the end. So up here, you have different things. So the first thing is to customize for your theme. So of course, this is where you would choose your brand colors. You can create a color if you don't see the color you need in the color palette. You can choose the different fonts that you want to use. So if you have a particular font that you use for your business. You can switch it up here. You can change the size. So if you wanted it to be smaller for the title, you could do that, or bigger, or whatever it might be. For the questions, same thing. You can choose your text for all of this. For the header, you can choose an image that you can put there. So let me just grab an image that I already have for my brand. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to grab an image. Now, I am going to switch this up afterwards and leave it with no image so that you guys can be able to use the template. But I'm going to just grab something that, I can use this one. Okay, let's use this one. I'm going to use this one just for the sake of the live. So let's download. I'm going to download this page right quick, guys. Now, I know the sizing does matter. I don't know that the image that I'm about to use is the correct size for this, so just bear with me. And if it kind of cuts off a little bit, it's fine, but we're just going to use it for now. So I'm going to go to choose image. Now, it does give you some images that you can use. If you find anything here that matches your brand, feel free to use. For me, again, I normally do everything from scratch, so I'm going to upload my own image. I'm just browsing and selecting the image that I just downloaded. All right, it's doing its thing. Error. Hold on. Let me try again. My image might be not compatible for the right size. So if it doesn't let us download it, I'm just gonna choose one from Google Drive. But okay, it's tripping. Let me see if it'll let me drag the file. It might be too big, y'all. I think it's not formatted for the right size, but it's okay. We're not gonna stay stuck on it. I'm gonna try one more thing. See if it lets me drag it. Okay, so let's just choose an image that's in Google Drive. Let's go with this one, Candy. Hold on, let me look. Yeah, I know it gotta be cute. We'll go with this one. Oh wait, let's go to birthday since it's party theme. Okay, let's go with this one. Hold on, because I'm saying that, but I'm still looking low key. This one's cute. Let's go with this one. So let's say that's the image that we want to use there. So as far as the image that you upload, the image that I have is just not the right size. So you would have to upload the header image to be kind of like the same size as this. You can grab it on Canva. Like you can create the size on Canva. Again, for the sake of this, I'm not going to go through creating that and all of that for this, but you can absolutely change your image on here. You guys have seen me do it on previous forms. Now for the actual form, again, you can choose your brand colors. You can put your hex code in here if you know it, or you can toggle through to try to find the right color that matches your brand in here. And then you would just hit add and it'll add it as the color that you can put for your form. Okay. Of course, you want to title your form. In this case, you can put your business name, order form, or whatever you want to put on here. I'm just going to put order form. Again, you can switch it up if you want to change the text, if you want to make it more bold, if you want to italicize it, if whatever you want to do, you can do. Of course, you can also put the form description. Something here, you can put something like, please complete the sections below to ensure that we process your order in a timely manner. But again, you can put whatever you want here, y'all. I'm just putting that for now, but anything you want to put on there definitely will work. I should have gave y'all a little mini lesson before I started the forums, but I could give y'all the mini lesson after, right? Y'all are good, right? So far, so good. I'll give y'all a mini lesson afterwards to kind of tell you exactly what you can use the order form for and things like that. So up here, again, you're just putting what you want them to say. Even if you wanted to say something like, thank you for your interest in ordering with us, please complete the form below. That works too. Just something for your customers. The next thing you want to put is things like your response time, your minimum order requirements, your turnaround time, rush order policies, whatever you want them to know, right? So, because sometimes customers get confused. They think just because they submitted the form that it means that their order started. But it doesn't necessarily mean that, right? Because sometimes they complete the form, but then they don't do the next step, which is payment, okay? The form is just to collect the information. It doesn't guarantee that you have a spot or an order started. So that verbiage is important to put somewhere on there, or to put in the if you want to put it in their email that they receive after submitting, or however you want to do it. Okay, but let's get into the important section. So first things first, of course, name. They got to include their name. So with here, the good thing about Google Forms is it allows you to do it as a multiple choice. You can do it as a short answer. If it's something short like a name, you can do short answer, because a name usually isn't a bunch of characters. If it's a longer response, you can do it as a paragraph. You can do multiple choice. You can do check boxes, drop down. You can allow for them to add a upload on here. So if there's something where they have to give you pictures and things, they can upload a file in here. You can do a linear scale. You can do a rating. So if you wanted to get reviews, you could do that. Because remember earlier, I told y'all we were doing an order form, but you can use Google Forms for any other form too. You can do a checkbox grid. You could do a date, and you can do a time. So first thing, for short answer, we're just going to put name. And for name, you can choose whether or not you want them to do first and last. I don't recommend doing first name and then last name and then right. I recommend just do name. Let them put their first and last name, or just their first name if they want to, whatever it might be. If you want them to do first and last, I will put first and last name here. First and last name. I will put that here, right? If you want them to do first and last. But name is just fine. Either one works. And then, of course, they'll type in their short answer. This one, I would make it a required field. Let's do first and last. Let's do first and last, because the more information you collect, the better too. So let's just go ahead and save ourselves. So now this one, I would toggle that for required. Definitely require that. So next, you're going to add another section, or add another question. So we're going to put the plus button. The next thing you want to ask them is their email address. Full name, email address, phone number. Phone number, you can put it as an optional. It doesn't have to be required, but it's a good idea to have the phone number, because there's been plenty of times where I've had people submit their order forms and I'm emailing them and they're taking too long to respond. So I have to call them. So keep that in mind too. It just depends on what you want to collect from your customer. But I would get name, email, and phone number. Is it a limited field on what you asked for? To my knowledge, no, but we'll see. To my knowledge, no, because you can add a plus. But what I will say to that, because that's a good question. What I will say to that is, this is not meant to be a essay, right? You don't want to ask a bunch of things, because that can also turn customers away if they feel like they have to do homework just to order, right? So our goal is to collect the important information, what we absolutely need in order to get the order started. Okay, so we're going to go through what all of those are right now. And for this, you could even just put full name instead of first and last. Full name. We're going to do email. So this, again, is a short answer. Email. Well, because I was going to say for email, I know sometimes for Google Forms, you can make it they have to sign in with Google. So sometimes that, or with their email. So sometimes that's not necessary. But since it's not on this one, we're going to keep email as one of them. And we're going to make it required. We're going to do phone number. So this is all of the person's contact info. Yeah, we'll leave the phone number as a short answer as well, because they can type it in. Now, for address, you don't necessarily need the address for this, right? Because remember what we said. We're not going to ask questions that we don't need right now. For address, that's something you can collect when you do the invoice. Depending on what you use for invoice, it normally prompts them to do that anyway if you have your form set up that way. Or if you're using something like PayPal to send invoices, it's usually connected to them as well. And you can always, because this is a lesson too. Even when they have an address connected to their PayPal when they go to pay you, if that's what you're using for invoice, still do your due diligence with double checking that address if you're not using a website, right? So if you don't have a website yet and you're just collecting information, make sure you're double checking the information just to make sure, because sometimes people have a different address linked to their PayPal than where they live, or it's an old address and things like that. You want to avoid all of that. So if you're not using a website, because for me on my website, they have to put that at checkout, so I don't have to worry about it. But if it's something where you're using an invoice process or whatever it might be, make sure you're double checking, because you never want to have the wrong information. Okay, so don't collect information you don't need on the order form in particular, but make sure you're collecting information. So the second thing to include the third thing, which number are we on? Second or third? Let me see. 1, 2, 3. The third thing you want to include, and I'm going to my order form to make sure I don't forget anything. So let me go to my order form. Of course, you want the date of the occasion, right? So another question that I like to add to is the name and age of the honoree or whoever we're celebrating, because it does help if that's something that depending on what event it is. But I'm not going to particularly put that here just because I know different people offer different things. I'm kind of just going through the bases basically for you guys, and you determine what else you want to include, right? So, but for the sake of not putting information we don't need, because we don't know if it's somebody that we're celebrating or if we're doing it for a corporate event or whatever it might be, on the next question that we want to ask is event type. Well, no, the first question is date needed. So let me put date. I'm gonna put date needed. Okay, so they get to choose the date that they need their goodies. Very good, very good. The next thing you want to put is event type, because you want to know, is this a baby shower? Is it a wedding? Is it a birthday party? So the next thing we're going to put is event type. And for this one, again, since you do have options, you can do check boxes, you can do a drop down, you can do multiple choice. So let's just say we're doing multiple choice. So event type, birthday, add another option. Let's say baby shower. Let's say wedding, corporate event, what else do y'all want to put? Let me see. What else do y'all want to put? Birthday celebration, baby shower, wedding. I'm gonna put wedding / anniversary. I'm gonna just put other. Well, let me go back and see if y'all said something. Memorial, okay. And then for the last one, we'll put other. Memorial other. And again, you can edit this to your liking. You can put whatever other options. If you have more options of things that you offer, you can put it there. I would make this required as well. Let me see. Date. Make the date required. For most of them, I'll be putting required because then if not, they're not going to put it. Or sometimes they might skip it. And you want to know the date because you want to know if you have enough time to even fulfill the order. So there we go. Now let's add another section. Okay, I didn't mean to add that section there, so I'm going to move the section. You can do that. Move. Okay, so we have the, now we need to ask them what do they want to order. So let's go here. I'm going to type in, I added an extra by mistake. Type of favors needed. And again, you can make it, it depends. So every business owner is different, right? So even down to this, right? I wouldn't list all of these things if all of these things isn't your focus. I'm just putting it here just to give y'all the options. But if you're the person who is focused on certain type of occasions, right? Maybe you don't do all of these occasions. Like for me, for example, when I first started, I started off with children's parties, and then eventually I did adult parties as well. So if that's the only thing that I'm focusing on, that's what I have my inventory on, and I don't really want to branch out to other things and focus on that audience. For the event type, I'm only going to list children's party, adult party, and children's and adult celebrations, right? I wouldn't list all the other things that I'm not doing. So keep that in mind too. Make it make sense for whatever you're offering. So the same goes with this, the type of favors needed. Depending on what you want to promote, right? If you're promoting your packages, I would put the packages here. If you're promoting individual favors, or if you have certain bundles and things that you're including, I would include what I'm promoting. You get what I'm saying? Or what I want the people to purchase from me and what I want the focus to be on in my business. Because if you know anything from what Mona has been teaching you, especially if you're a member of TCC, then you know I preach to you guys. Do not sell everything. You don't have to sell all the things, because the more option you give the people, the more they feel like they're not your customer, right? The more they feel like it's not specifically talking to them. So if you're that person that want to focus on business owners and you're selling to business owners, then I would focus on that. For event type, I would put corporate event, or I would put things like employee appreciation event, corporate celebration, end of year celebration, conference, things like that. You're gonna put what applies. You get what I'm saying? Let me go to the comments. I want to make sure that it's clear what I'm saying. I just created a form yesterday for my business. I did add bridal shower. Yeah. And that's what you can add, whichever of the categories, right? But what I'm saying is make sure that you're not giving to, like, this doesn't need to be full of options for them to be able to. No, it needs to be what you're focused on in your business and who you're currently talking to for your audience, right? Because again, although you can service multiple different audiences within the niche, I don't recommend you talking to all of them at once. So whoever your focus is what you want to put here. So type of favors needed, you can either put it as a drop down or check boxes. So let's say you wanted the options to be, let's see, edible favors, edible party favors, swag bag merch, right? So for this, I would make it pertain, and I know we have several options here right now, but I'm only doing this just so you guys can kind of get a visual of what you can include. But edible favors and snacks. I'm gonna put snacks right here. Put whatever options you have, right? So you can either do it like this, where you're breaking down the actual favors. You can do it to where you're actually putting what they can get as far as your party packages. So let's say, let me see, package choice. Let's say this one is multiple choice. We can put mini party pack, 3 dozen right? Let's say the next option is our mini, let's say starter party pack. And just pretend like this is the name of your options, right? So starter party pack includes 3 dozen party favors at $2.49. Our deluxe party pack, forgot my E. Maybe this one is 5 dozen. And then the last option, maybe it's the mega party pack. And maybe this one has 7 dozen. Right? And I'm just randomly putting stuff, but I'm just kind of showing you guys that you can give them options. It doesn't necessarily have to be this, right? You can include this so you can have an idea of what they want. For this one, I'm going to put keepsake party favors. Oh, hold on 1 second, guys. I think my mom is leaving. Let me go say bye. Hold on. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm back. Where was I? So yeah, so you can keep the type of favors needed here and then still kind of put your packages here. Again, it's up to you. So if you're that person who individually sell favors, like you do 1 dozen of this, that, I don't do it like that personally. And I'll tell you why. Because what ends up happening is your customer still is lost on what they should get, right? They still don't know what they should get. One, two, your average order value will be lower because people can choose. So they would literally come to you and get coloring books and go somewhere else for the chips and water versus just making it a package. That's what I teach to the ladies that's in my community. Just sell packages, right? Don't sell those individual, you could get 12 chips, get 12 nah, just tell them you get 3 dozen favors and then give them the list of favors that they can choose from. Instead of giving them the individual ones, you get 12 chips for $45 a dozen, this for that. Just sell it as a package, y'all. I promise you, it will make things better for your business overall. Y'all just gonna have to trust me on that one, okay? Trust me on that one. So I would put the packages here and put whatever packages that you currently offer. Okay. So let's see. Any questions, y'all? Are y'all good? Drop me some comments so I can know that y'all still here with me. Y'all good on that? Are y'all good? Let me see if I see any comments. Y'all okay? Y'all all right? Y'all still with me? I think I saw a hand heart. Okay, I see Miss Leary says yes. Those package prices will be for both like kids and adults. Again, it depends, right? It depends on, these are just random prices that I'm putting, but you have to create your packages, sis. So you got to create what packages you include and create your prices based on your actual packages. These are just random samples. So depending on what you offer. So like for me, for kids and adults, I don't offer all of the same things that I do for adults to kids. So the packages look a little different for adults versus kids. And for me, most of the packages that I do right now is for corporate clients. So that looks different than a kids party. So it just depends on what you offer. There's so many ways that you can go with it. And Crafty Sis, keep on. I want to invite you to TCC, sis, because there's so much more to learn, y'all. I dropped so many gems in there to kind of make it make more sense as far as the business side of things. But the packages will be based on what your current packages are. So you're going to have to sit down and create your packages. I recommend creating separate packages for kids and adults. Because again, what adults might want, kids might not. Some of the things might mix, like things like water, sure. But do adults want Capri Suns? No. So you kind of got to, make it make sense for whatever the occasion is. That's why I don't recommend promoting all of the occasions. No. Find you an area. You can pick 1 to 3 different occasions that you want to focus on so that your packages can make sense and it's not a one size fits all for the customers. You get it? So you're saying just simplify it and say 3 dozen and allow them to choose whatever exactly. But it has to make sense with your pricing, right? So for me, my pricing makes sense whether they get chips in there, whether they get booklets in there, whether they get whatever dozen, right? So it has to make sense for what you offer. So it goes a little deeper than just what we're seeing right here. But that's the easiest way I could say it. You have to sit down, choose your audience, start there. Choose who your customer is. Your customer isn't everybody. Your customer isn't the mom plus the church plus the weddings plus. No, if you want to, your customer base could literally only be weddings. You could service brides, and for brides that means bridal parties, that means bridal showers, that means bachelorette parties, that means the gifts that they give to propose to their brides, that means, and all of those things are things that you can have party favors for. So simplify your process, and that goes for everybody. Simplify your process. Choose a group of people that you want to service, that you want to cater to, and go from there, because it's going to make all of this other things make sense and make it easier. Versus if they're landing on here and they see so many different options, they get overwhelmed quick. They don't even remember what they came for. Trust me, that's how customers think. So So now we have our package choices. Let's see what we can add next. We have our name, we have our email, we have our date of the event, we have our party favor choices, we have our package. Now we have to talk about the customization, right? So this is going to be where they let you know the theme, the color scheme, the name and age, any words or phrases they want to include, and things like that. So let's go here. So we have our next question. We can do this again. No right or wrong way. I gave you all of the different options. Let me see what multiple choice grid looks like. Okay. So multiple choice grid is just if you want it to look different instead of the all the way down, you want the title here and then the choice here. So I'm gonna do, let me see, checkbox grid. Same thing. Okay. So let's do this one as honestly, I'm gonna do this one as a paragraph. That way they could be able to tell you, please list. No, let's go here. Let's do color choices. Now, again, there's several ways to skin a cat. If you wanted to, you could just put one big sentence here that says, please list your color choices, any words, phrases to use, and the name of the honoree. But depending on how, I caution you with that only because what people would do is they'll see one of the things that you said out of 5 things that you listed, right? And then you'll still be missing information. So color choices, please list. I'm gonna put please list up to 3 colors, right? And we could even put color choices and theme right here and make it a paragraph, right? Next question, we can do please list any names, words, phrases to include. Okay, so then for this one, same thing, you can leave it as a paragraph. That way they're able to put as much information as we can. So far, our form has their full name, email. Let's make email a requirement as well. Phone number, date needed, event type, types of favors needed. So for this, we did checkbox because if they want to, they can check all 3 if they want, or they could check that they want edible and keepsake favors, or whatever other options you have on there. For the multiple choice, they can only choose one. So that's important. Don't give them a checkbox and have them doing the wrong thing, which confuses you. Because the goal of the order form, guys, if I'm being honest with you, the goal of the order form is for you to not have to do much, right? Once you get the order form, you should be able to immediately send an invoice with no other things that you need. So make sure you include everything you need, but not make it unnecessary things that you don't. Okay, so we have that. We have our package choice, color choices, and theme. Please list any names and phrases to include. And let me just look at my order form to see if we're missing anything. Themes and colors. And then I normally put additional details. So if they want to include anything additional, they can. If you are someone who offers filled, unfilled, or digital files, that can also be an option that you put on there, is so that they can tell you what they need, right? That way you know if they want completed favors, if they only want labels, or if they want digital files, if you offer all of those. Again, every business is different, so you might not offer all of those things, so you might not have to include that. But if you do, it's a good idea to put that on there. That way you know exactly what you're giving them, right? And what you're doing. And then let's see. One question that I love to put is this a rush order? Because if you're not already doing so, you should be charging more for rush orders. So, is this a rush order? What does rush order mean? That means whatever time that you give to your customers for them to be able to, the time that you allot yourself to be able to have their order completed and shipped to them is what's a rush order. So let's say for you, your processing time that you need is at least 2 weeks, right? They have to order within 7 to 14 days. If they order something and they need it for next week, it is a rush order. If they order something and they need it before the 7 days, and for me, I specifically put 7 business days because I do not work on the weekends unless I really, really have to, right? So rush order is whatever it means to you, whatever time you give yourself. So I'm going to put here, is this needed sooner than 7 to 14 business days? Because sometimes people don't always, they don't be knowing unless you tell them, right? They don't know unless you tell them. So is this needed within 7 to 14 days? And give them the choice. So multiple choice, I would just put yes or no. And that's it, right? With this information is going to tell you what you need to do when you send that order. So now when you send the invoice, if it's a rush order, then you're going to put on the invoice, you're going to include that rush order fee, whatever your fee is, okay? My fees are in increments. Again, I can't give y'all all the information because you're going to have to kind of price on what makes sense for your business model, and what the grace that you get to your customers and things like that. But for me, something that's needed within a 24-hour turnaround time, most likely I can't do it. But if I can, that rush order fee is more than something that's needed within 5 days. So keep that in mind too. Whatever your policies, fees, and things are is what you would include here. The next thing that we can include is, let me see, where's the file upload? So we go here. Let me see. Let respondents upload files to the drive. Files will be uploaded to your Google Drive. Respondents will be required to sign into Google when file upload questions are added. Make sure to only share this form with people you trust. Okay, so this is already telling you if you use the files for them to upload files, because you could do it one of two ways, right? You can either include it in the order form, but Google is already telling you that those pictures are going to be automatically added to your Google Drive. So just be a little careful with that if you choose to do it that way. So I'm going to just put continue to say, sure, go ahead. So now the question that you want to ask is, please include any photos to use. Right? And again, I'm just giving y'all the basis. You can switch up the verbiage to make it say whatever you want it to say. Why this is okay? Oh, photos with S. Whatever you want it to say, but I'm just giving y'all the basis, to kind of let you know. And this does let you control what type of files that they can include. So in this case, you can just do only image that they can include. It's only going to let it be up to 10 megabytes. I mean, you can do more if you want them to be able to offer more. But I wouldn't do too much so they don't flood it with too many different things. But you want it to be, or to clog up your memory on your Google Drive. But you want it to be enough to where they can give you at least 3 pictures. So 10 megabytes more or less will be fine. Okay? So you put that there, and then you can make it required or not, because I know for me, all of my customers don't be wanting pictures, especially for the adults. Right? Most of the people who purchase from me and are adults for adults parties, they normally don't want their pictures on there. They just want the words or whatever. So I wouldn't make this one a requirement, because it could be optional if they want to include any pictures. Any photos to use. And Tracy made a good point. So you can include any high quality. What I normally do for the photos part, and for this, you can include it in the Google Forms, but you don't have to, right? Because you could always request those photos once you lock in the order. So when you go to send the invoice, you could also send an email to request those photos, or you can include something on your form that says, please email any photos to use to and add your email address. So it's up to you with what you want to include on the form. I'm putting it here to show you guys how to do it, but nothing's set in stone. It just depends on what you want to do. I normally request 3 to 5 high quality photos from my customers because 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to say 9. I'm not going to say 9 because some of my customers do take pictures before they order. So they take nice professional pictures before they order. But if they don't, 7.5 times out of 10, out of the 5 pictures that they send, I can really only use one because it'd be a picture with a selfie in front of a mirror with the phone in their hand. It'd be pictures that you can't use. Normally, if the picture is if none of the pictures that I can use that can make it look good, I refer back to the customer and I tell them, hey, do you have any other photos that we can use in order to make sure the party favors have the best quality? The better the picture, the better the quality. These pictures don't come out clear or they're blurry. I tell them whatever the issue is. I'm very transparent with my customers, and that's why they kind of trust my judgment and they just do what I need because I'm transparent with them to let them know that, hey, it don't look the same when you're standing in front of the bathroom mirror holding the phone in the picture versus a good picture, okay, that don't have the phone in your hand. So don't be afraid to let them know when the pictures aren't good quality, because at the end of the day, everything is a reflection of your business, of your brand, of what you're producing for them. And it determines whether or not they like the end result. So don't be afraid to ask for those good quality pictures. But that's pretty much, I think this is a good enough form. Let me look at my form one more time to make sure we're not missing anything. The only other thing that I didn't include on this one that's on my form is the filled and unfilled option. But again, it just depends on what you're currently offering to your audience to know what's needed, right? Don't put nothing in that you don't need. Oh, the last thing that we can put. Please include any high quality photos. I'm going to put logos too. All right, the last thing to include is any additional info. Let me see how I worded it on here. I just put additional details because my order form is straight to the point. Any additional details. Okay, let me just put that. So this one, again, let's make this a paragraph so that they could be able to put anything that they want to include to help you make their order spotless and perfect and just what they need. So name, email, phone number, dates needed, event type, types of favors needed, package choice, color choices, and theme. Please list any names, words, or phrases to include. And is this a rush order? Please include any high quality photos or logos to use. I'm going to put this last. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I think we're good on that. Let me go to here just to make sure that we not missing anything. Let's see. Okay, we could leave the quiz. This is if you wanted to make it a quiz. We don't want it to be a quiz because it's an order form. For responses, this was the option that I was telling you about. You can make it so that it's from a verified account. So it makes them be required to sign into Google. I don't know that you want to put that on your Google thing just because your customer might not have a Google account, even though it feels like the whole world who doesn't have a Gmail, but they might not, right? So you can choose. If you do this, it's a good one because it kind of gives you qualified leads. So it's not people playing and sending you random stuff. But at the same time, if they don't have a Google, it's going to prompt them to have one. So maybe you don't want to put that for your form. You can put responder input, where you let them manually put their email in, and it's going to require them to do it, but not sign in. I mean, it will require them to, hold on. Let me see. Let me read what it says. Respondent will manually enter their email response. Because this form has file upload questions, respondent will be required to sign in. Again, you can take that upload off. So it's telling us because of that upload, they do have to sign in to Google. So if you want it so that they don't have to do that, you can also take this one off, right? So let's just take it off so we can see. Let's delete this one so we can see what it says. So settings. Okay, so for this one, it's fine. It'll just let them manually input their email. Again, if you want them to upload, they can, but they will have to have a Google email in order to do that. If not, you can still collect the form without that, and they can just input it. Send responders a copy of their response. I like to put always for this one because that's letting them automatically get an email that has everything that they inputted, so that we're all on the same page. You know you submitted this. I know you submitted this. Google gave you a trail of the receipt that you submitted it as well. And then always response editing, allow response editing. Response can be changed after submitting. I leave this not filled. And again, this was back when I was using Google Forms because I have a website. So I don't use this not for orders right now, but I do use it for other things. So allow response editing. This will allow them to change it after submitting. I normally leave this turned off because what you need to change it for, okay? It was what you said. Okay, if it wasn't, then it's what I got. I'm going to verify when I do send you an email anyways. Okay, so require sign in, limit to one response. Require sign in, limit to one response. Okay, so this is if you didn't want them to be able to submit a response more than one time. I would also leave this unchecked because they might be a customer that's coming back again. So you don't want it to where they can only respond once with their email. And then presentation, manage how form and responses are presented. So with this one, you can show them their progress bar to show them how much more they have left to finish the form. You can shuffle the questions order. I don't shuffle them. I leave it as is, but you can choose that if you want it to kind of just switch up how it's asking the questions. I like the format of your contact information first and then what you need for the actual order. So I wouldn't shuffle. Confirmation message. So let's edit that. You can put your response has been recorded. We have received your order, or let me see, order submission received. Please, spelled that wrong. Please allow 24 to 48 hours for a response. Or I'm putting that, but depending on what your process is, because again, everybody's business is different. Depending on what your process is, if it's once they submit the order, they're getting the invoice, then in here you can put that. Order submission received. Please allow 24 to 48 hours to receive your official invoice, right? Or whatever it might be, or for our team to review it, or whatever you want to say. Oh, excuse me, I had a hiccup. You can say it right there. Okay. So I'm going to save this. Show link to submit another response. Okay, that's fine. View result summary, share result summary respondents. I don't put that there because you don't need to see the result summaries of an order form, right? You don't need to see what other people, you get what I'm saying, responded on this form. So no, leave that blank. Restrictions, disable autosave for all respondents. Leave that alone. Defaults, form defaults. Let's look into that. Collect email addresses by default. This is saying do not collect. Again, you let them put their input. Question default settings applied to all new questions. Make questions required by default. So that's if you want all of the questions to be answered by default, you can put that there. But we just gonna leave that alone. Now, every time you get a submission, you should automatically also get an email to your Google for someone submitting, okay? But if you have order forms, I would recommend make it a part of your process for you to check this daily, because what you don't want to do is get order submissions, but then you're missing out on potential customers because somebody sent you an order form 3 weeks ago and you're just now seeing it today. So add it as a part of your process. Again, if you're a Crafty Sis that's in TCC, the creative circle, then you already know that you should have things in place as far as when you're responding to your emails. So add it as a part of your process, right? But you should automatically get an email from Google too. But just in case, so that you don't miss anything, make sure that you have a time allotted. And I would say check it daily because you're a business owner. Okay, we got to do what we got to do. Check it daily. Make it a part of, like for me, in the mornings is when I check my emails, right? So when I'm checking my emails, that's also when I'm checking to see if there's any orders that I need to send invoices for. I'm checking to see who paid their invoice, to see who moved on in the chain of my order queue and things like that. So make it a part of your process, okay? Let's see. Can we add a line to check that if the photo is used? Can we use the template with photo for content use? I wouldn't put that in the order form, right? Because remember, our goal for the order form is to just do customer intake for your potential customers, right? Now, when they go to order, that's when you can tell them about the content used. For me personally, I have a website, so all of that stuff is in my website disclosures, my terms and conditions. They have to check the terms and conditions in order to check out whether they read it or not. That's up to them, but it's in there, right? All of that, all of that verbiage is in my terms and conditions, my policies, and all of that. But if you don't have that in place yet, then I would send that in your terms and conditions for when you send the invoice. So, for example, sometimes I do still have to manually send invoices because sometimes my customers want things that's not in my packages or whatever it might be, right? So it's a case by case kind of thing. And if I do have to send that, then I still have those, but it's listed in the invoice. So for me, I use PayPal for invoices if I have to send one. And they do allow you to have a section where you can put terms and conditions, you can put different things like that. That's where I would put that. I wouldn't put it on the order form, only because we want it to be as quick as possible, right? So right now in our order form, it's already quite a bit of questions, right? For them to have to answer. It's not a lot, but just think of yourself as the person that's think of yourself as a consumer wherever you go, right? If the process is too much for you to have to be able to get it, then you most likely be like, oh, I'll do it another time, or I'll do it. That's what you want to avoid. So try to only put exactly what you need from them, even down to the picture. The picture don't even necessarily have to be on the order form per se. It does make it easier to have everything in one place at one time. But since it's not on a website, you get what I'm saying, and it's on this, and it might, because I know when I've used this in the past, sometimes Crafty Sisters are saying, oh, my video's too long or my picture's too big. To avoid things like that, you can just not put it there, right? And just put something that says send us an email, or once they actually submit the order form, now you know they're serious. Because if they took the step of doing the order form, then you know that they're serious and they really want whatever it is that they're reaching out about, right? So now you can do the due diligence with adding them on, with requesting any additional things. Because again, the form gives you most of the information that you need, but in order to finalize it, you still have to review, you still have to make sure that, hey, so I got your order. Like, this is the process that I do, right? When they submit the order form, I don't just automatically send the invoice, but I also send an email that says, hey, I received your order form. This is what's listed on there. I have you down for X, Y, and Z. I'm going to go ahead and send you the invoice. Please send any pictures that you want to use on to my email, right? Or whatever your email is. So there's ways that you can do it. I say you can do A and B testing, see what's working. You can try putting the image upload initially. If you see that you're getting a lot of bad quality photos and things like that, maybe it's better to just do it via email. That way they can send you more options. So kind of see what works best and then go from there. But there's no right or wrong way, technically. I love this. I just made this a few days ago. Love, love, love. Yes, see, I make it so that they can upload images also and pictures. Let's see, does Google have a notification bell? I don't think they have a notification bell because they automatically send you an email. So you would just have to have, let me see. I don't see. You just have to have your notification on your actual email, sis. I'm gonna put, okay, changed it to order form for me. And let's see, folder. I'm gonna create a folder just for this. Okay. I might have to do it afterwards. So I'm going to create a folder because I'm going to share this template with the ladies that's in the template club. So if you're in there, I'm going to share it in the group for you guys to be able to use this, make your changes, do whatever it is that you want to do with this. Okay. So let's see. Okay. This notification, why is still here? Let's do undo. So it's going to put that image thing back for us. Okay, it didn't. Okay, so let's add it back on. I deleted it just to kind of show y'all the other part. Just remember, oh no, I'm gonna leave it off. I forgot why I deleted it. Remember, I deleted the image one just because it is gonna prompt the customer to have a Gmail account. So in order to, part of being a business owner is seeing the unforeseen customer blocks, right? You don't want it to be somebody that has a Yahoo or Ymail wanted to place an order, but because it told them they have to have a Google, they said never mind. So I took that off. Keep in mind, if you do want them to upload the image, it has to be through a verified Google account. So it is going to prompt them for that. Okay. So I think that's it. We went over all of these. Now I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips on how to use order forms because it doesn't just have to be on here. And again, you can include more things. So just because I put those on there, some other things that you can include if you want to is things like budget. If you didn't have, let's say you didn't have the packages, but you just had the types of party favors that they can choose from. You can include what investment range are you planning for this order, right? Is it between 100 to 250? Is it between 500 to 1,000? Is it 1,000 plus? Because then it kind of gives you an idea of the type of package that you can create for that customer. So keep that in mind. You can put that if you want to. Again, for things like policy agreements and things, I would send it along with the invoice. Those agreements can include things like your turnaround time, your deposit or payment, how it's set up. So like, are you the person that takes a deposit to start or retainer is what you should be calling it because a deposit is what they get back. We do custom items, so we're not giving anything back. So call it something else. Call it a retainer. The retainer is just what locks in your event date and for me to start collecting your materials. Okay, so you don't get that back because with custom orders, as soon as you order, I done got started. Okay, so you can't get the money back. But and also keep in mind too, whatever your policies are as far as what is the retainer? Are you the person that's collecting 50 just to retain it? Or are you collecting half of what the transaction is for? Or are you collecting one at all if it's under a certain amount? All of these things are things that you should be considering because think about it. If it's under a certain amount, what do you need a retainer for? Just place your order or come when you're ready. So think about that. Revisions. This is where you want to put it. And again, I would put this when I'm sending out the invoice. That's where I would include this stuff if you don't have a website. But revisions, let them know that this is not unlimited revisions. My customers know that it's only 3 revisions max. Okay, because you told me everything that you wanted on here. You told me what you wanted on here. I asked for any additional information that's going to help me make your order perfect for you. All of those different things. I collected all of the information for me to be able to start your design and create something that I feel like you would love. So if it is where you absolutely hate it, which knock on wood, I haven't had any customers absolutely hate it. They be wanting to change a thing or two. Like, can you take off the the age, or can you small minor tweaks, but that's what you want to put that in there, that you'll do minor tweaks. Okay, we're not changing the whole design 7 times. We're not doing that. 3 revisions max. Okay, cancellations, letting them know that these are non-refundable. Okay, once we start your order, once I already produced everything, there's no cancellation or refunds. Okay, once the order is processed, that's that. Now, yes, I have it in my policy, but if something happens, right, don't be that person, because when you're running a business, at the end of the day, run it with integrity. Don't be that person where an absolute emergency did happen and you're just not budging at all, right? Or I get it, you might have to take a L, but that's okay sometimes in business. It's not okay, but it happens sometimes, right? So if the person had an absolute emergency and they need to cancel or whatever, not saying it has to be a full refund, but don't be that person that's like, no, I can't do nothing. At least let them move the date if that's what you can do, or whatever it might be, right? Lead with integrity. Don't completely just be that person that's like, or do what you want. But I'm saying it's case by case. So yes, the policy says no refunds, because for the most part it won't be. But if something absolute happens or whatever it might be, it's okay to bend. Well, let me not say it's okay to bend your rules, because then we don't want to. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. That's where you also will put any of your rush order fees. So if you had to include the rush order fee, if you didn't have to include it, you don't necessarily, sorry, I'm eating Mike and Ike's and it's so juicy. But if you didn't have to do a rush order, then you don't have to put anything about rush order, right? But if you did have to include that fee, tell them why in your policy. The next thing, of course, is shipping or pickup. Let them know what that process is. Let them know how much time you need to process the order, and then how much time it's going to take them to get it once it's shipped. And then, of course, design approval, because all of you guys, if you're doing custom items, you should have it to where they are able to. I'm not going to eat another macaroni because this thing is stuck in my teeth now. Let me drink some water. But if you are the person who is doing custom items, never print before sending that design approval, because sometimes your customers can catch things that you miss. They might catch a misspelling. You're sending it over for them to say that I'm okaying this design and I love it. You can go ahead and print, because the last thing you want to do is print all that stuff. Next thing you know, they're asking you, oh, can you add this? We wanted it to say hashtag newlyweds on it or hashtag whatever, and forgot. Can you add it? And it's like, I can't add it because I already printed everything. So send that design approval. Once it's approved, then you can go and keep going, okay? To print. Let's see what else I wanted to tell y'all. So with the Google form, you can use it for other things as well. So let's say you have an event coming up, or you want to do a pre-order for something. Again, if you're in TCC, then you know all about making things kind of streamlining everything for your business, right? Including making things a fun way with how you're presenting things to your customers. So let's say you wanted to do something like a limited edition, right? Let's say it's winter break and you wanted to do a limited edition, something for parents to be able to give to their child's teacher before their winter break. Because at the end of the day, y'all, and look, this is my marketing hat coming on now. At the end of the day, whatever you're selling, whatever you're promoting, you have to be able to convey the benefit of it, right? So let's say before winter break, we want to create a cute teacher edition winter break pack where you're giving the teacher something to kind of like thank them for half of the school year, right? How you're presenting that is you're presenting it to the parents, because they're the ones who will be buying it. And how you're presenting it is you're letting them know, hey, be the parent that gets the teacher. Because the better you treat the teacher, the better the teacher gonna treat your kid. Not saying teachers be mistreating kids, but my kids' teachers, they absolutely love having my kids in their class because they know I'm gonna come through with stuff for the class. I'm gonna come through with stuff for the teachers. I give stuff to the whole entire staff at the end of the year. The teachers always getting little trinkets, little this, little that, just to show them that we appreciate you. So that's something that you can use as a selling point for that particular thing, right? So let's say you're selling that teacher pack beginning of winter break to parents, but you only have 10 of them that you're creating for your customers, right? That limited edition, you can do a wait list if you wanted to, where they can do it, or you could do a form for the wait list to be the first to know when this limited edition teacher appreciation basket drops or whatever it might be. So you can use the order form for that. You can use the order form for if you're having any events, right? And not order form, I'm sorry, Google form, because we created an order form for this one, but we can use it for anything, right? You could be even more specific. And if you wanted it to be a t-shirt order form or a tumbler order form, and be specific with that, with putting all the specs, putting all the different things that they can include on their tumbler. So it just depends on what you offer, with how detailed you can make your order form. And it depends on what you're trying to do with how you're positioning the form in general. You can do it for people to subscribe to your email list. So if you're that person who haven't started an email list, and if you didn't, you absolutely should. If you haven't started an email list yet, you can do an order form for that. I mean, a form for that, an email list form where you're just getting people to get into the loop of learning about your business or knowing when you have promotions or deals going on. You can use the form for that. So think outside of the box as far as what you need, because all of these different things you can use the Google Forms for, not just for orders. Okay. And it's a good way to keep all of your customers' information in one place, because once you get those responses right here at the top, it's going to have a number right here. So let's say 10 people submitted the order form. You're going to have a number 10 right here. And when you click on here, it's going to give you the list of all of the responses. With that, you can link it to Google Sheets, and you can create a kind of spreadsheet for yourself of all the people who submitted forms. With that, you can repurpose the same order forms or the same contact information for different things, right? So if you saw that they had a birthday on a certain date, you could reach back out to these people to be able to let them know any other things that you have available. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. The order form also helps reduce the back and forth communication, because how many times where you're taking something in your DMs, you DM'd back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You answer 50 million questions just for the person to never follow through, right? This eliminates that, because now when they submit the form, you know that they're serious and there's no back and forth, because all the questions you needed is on the form. So make sure you include anything you need from your customer on there. So that helps too. It also helps you to refer back to something. So let's say your customer orders and they say, oh no, I didn't say green. I said I wanted it to be blue. But you go back on the order form and it was absolutely blue. I mean, it was green. So it kind of helps you to save yourself from, those things too. That way you could go back to your default of, I'm not redoing this whole thing 5 times, because the maximum is 2 to 3 revisions. All right. It also helps you qualify your customers too before even spending the time. So once you see what they need or what they're trying to get, it kind of helps you to you can make your predictions now based on your sales, what you're trying to do. I'm not gonna go too deep into it because y'all know that's more TCC stuff, but it helps you to qualify your leads as well. Okay. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Let me see if y'all are saying anything in the comments. Can we do the next class or later on about this, sis? Tell me what you mean, sis. What about which part? Policy. Oh, policies. Okay, I have the policy guide from you. Also, like a class on the policy guides. We could probably do something like that. That's normally for like a Crafty Monday, because like the more detailed classes, we save those for Crafty Monday classes. If you are a part of the creative circle, those classes, most of them are included for the members. But if you're not, usually when I put it on, hopefully Crafty Sis, hopefully you're following me on Instagram, because usually when I have a class, it usually is short notice because Crafty Monday is every Monday. So normally I don't announce the class until the day before or that Friday. If I do, which I should probably start back announcing the classes on Friday for people to know about them. But that would be more of a Crafty Monday class, but we could do a policy class for sure. How do they get this form without being signed in or having a Google account? So Crafty Sis Denise, we went over that as well. So on the settings, we have it listed as responder input. So with the responder input, that means they get to manually enter in their email responses. If you do it as a verified, it's going to require them to have Google. If you also include for them to have to add a picture, it's going to make them have a Google. So that's why we took the picture one off just for the general form. That way, whoever wants to include that, you can once you get the form. But if not, as long as you have it as responder input, they don't have to have a Google, sis. That's what makes it, I feel like it's better when they don't have to have a Google, because then you don't want to miss out on potential sales because somebody don't have a Google account. You get what I'm saying? So that's how you prevent that. You just do it under collect email addresses. You leave it as responder input right here. That just means they have to type in their email. Now, the caveat to that is if they have a typo, then you ain't got the email, right? If they have a typo, then there's nothing you can do, right? Versus if it's here, and it has to be a verified Google account, it's going to automatically input that information for them, so there won't be a typo. But it's fine if it is a typo, because we also made the phone number required, so hopefully they could type their phone number right. But if they do the wrong email, there's nothing we could do, right? How do they get the form to fill out, period? So the form to fill out, you're going to have to give them the link. It's right here. So right here where it says, oh, hold on. Let's see. Questions. I'm sorry. Once you hit publish, I'm going to publish it. Once you hit publish, then right here where it says manage, anyone with the link will be able to submit the form. So right here, anyone with the link, editor view, you don't let them edit, you just let them respond. So anyone with the link can respond. And then so that's how you have the settings. So I'm going to publish. So then once you publish, the link is right here. You can even get a shortened URL. This link is where you will put in your link tree. And of course you would just put order form link. Or order form. You could put that link in your link tree. You could put that link in your bio. You could drop that link to them if they send you a DM asking to order party favors. You could just send them that link. Here's the link to our order form, or however you're displaying it. So it'll be this link right here. And you just get that right here. Right here where it says link. You copy link. Okay, that was a good question. Okay, any other questions, ladies? Because we're at the end of the lesson. What did you guys think of today's lesson? Did you learn something new? What was your biggest takeaway? And again, if you are one of the Crafty Sisters that's in the Crafty Sis that's in the template club, I am going to drop this link in there for everybody to be able to use. It'll give you the prompts of how to copy it in order to use it. So I'm gonna drop that link in there for y'all. Any other questions, ladies? What do we think about this live? Did you learn something new? Any questions, guys? Any questions at all? Crafty Sis said, I understand now. Okay, perfect. Learning Google better. Okay. And there's so much you can do on this, y'all. This is just for Google forms, but there's so many other things that you can do on Google in general. Let me go back here. So if you go right here, it'll tell you what you can do here, y'all. You get your Google Drive, You can do Google Sheets. You can do videos, photos. You can do Google Meet, documents, slideshows. There's so many different things you can do on here. They have a Google Classroom, I see. Add your content. Oh, there go forms. It was here. Forms. So there's some voice for the people who need a Google Voice number. So there's so many different things that you can do on here. Just take advantage, y'all. Take advantage of what's available. You're welcome. Is there a class later on? Yes, there is a live later on. Later on, I'm gonna check to see if anybody submitted their a template for me to revamp. Tonight, though, we are going to push the time up to 7 p.m. instead of 8, only because I have another obligation at 8 o'clock. So 7 o'clock is the time that we're meeting for tonight. I think Crafty Sis Danielle is sending something over for us to edit. So we are going to do our member edits live tonight, okay? This is helpful. It gives me another option other than Jotform. Yes, because I think Jotform, I want to say Jotform might be free if you're not adding payment. So Jotform, the good thing about it is you can collect payment with Jotform, but there is a paid option. It's not free. But yeah, Google lets you do it too. It doesn't let you collect payment, but it does let you do any forms. Yes, sis. Thank you. You're welcome. I always love your lives. I stay learning something new. Thank you, sis. You're welcome. And ladies, I'm doing my best to kind of organize things better for you guys. I'm going to switch the screen to the Template Club. This is our sponsor, y'all. Sponsor, Template Club. But I'm going to drop the link for the Template Club as well. Okay, let me drop the link for y'all. Let me see. Can I drop the link? Copy. Our live today was sponsored by the Template Club. This is where you go, guys. And for those of you who are new here, right? So if you're just now finding me in 2026, I have been doing these lives since 2020, y'all. Literally, since the end of 2020, we have been doing lives. We've been doing Template Thursday. I've been dropping templates every single week since 2020, unless I took a little break. Like I took a little break when I had to have my baby. But it's been since 2020, y'all. So Template Club just got better. I found a way to make it easier for people to be able to access the templates that I'm literally dropping every single week. So if you're not a part of Template Club, make sure you guys join. It's free, but they only give you 5 forms. Oh, okay, there we go. See, because I'm like, I know they have a subscription base on Jotform. But with Template Club, guys, all of these templates that you guys have seen me doing for the past month, right? All of the month of August, I've been dropping business templates to help you make things easier for yourself, right? All of the ladies that's a part of the Template Club, for $27 a month, they're getting all of these template drops versus getting them individually on my website. Anywhere from $27 to $47 to $99 is some of those templates that's on my website. So if you are that person who wants to make things easier for yourself and you enjoy these templates that I drop, in the templates range, y'all. It's not only business templates. It's not only part templates. It's all things templates, right? You get access to those party favor templates, business templates, holiday or seasonal templates. You also get voting rights. So they voted for us to do the business templates all month long for the month of August. So they get to vote to tell me what templates they want to see me drop. And I do it based on whatever they ask for, right? Template Thursday replays as well. I drop it so they can easily access them in here. Member discounts on mega bundles. So when it's those templates where I'm dropping a bunch of templates in one, they're the ones that get the discount going forward. So if you are someone who enjoy these lives, you enjoy my templates, you want to make things easier for yourself as a creator, then I would recommend joining the Template Club because it's the most affordable way that you can access our templates. Okay. I really enjoyed this and appreciate the detailed tutorial. Now I can create my Google form. Yay, Jade. I'm excited for you. And again, don't forget this top part that I couldn't show y'all. Let me go back to the form. This top part. Oh, hold on. Wrong one. Hold on. I got so many Google accounts. Go back to forms. Let me show you guys. Share this tab. So once you create your forms, it's going to show you owned by anyone, owned by me. Hello. Okay, so once you go here, it's going to show you all the forms you created. So don't forget this top part. For whatever reason, I think my image was too big, but you can add your own image up here too. So what I like to do is add something. Let me create something right quick. Let me do it right quick so y'all can see, because it's disturbing my spirit that it wouldn't change. Okay, so let me see. So it wasn't, this one couldn't do it. Let me see if a banner like this. Hold on, I don't want to add it to that. Hold on, guys. Because I feel like the size was just too big for it, and that's why it didn't want to do it. But okay, let me just add it to this. It's fine. But I don't know if this even bigger. Okay, I'm not gonna hold y'all up with my antics. Okay. Oh, let me see. Let me try. I'm gonna do this one. This is just a previous banner that I made for an event, but let's just see, because I kind of want to show y'all the custom version. I don't stop till I could do it. So let me see. I'm gonna go here, replace header image, upload, browse. I think it's just the sizing. I would just have to do, oh, it didn't save. I would just have to do the right size, because I really wanted to put something else up there for y'all. I'm not gonna hold on to it too much. Okay, it's still downloaded. I'm not gonna hold on to it too much if this don't work, but you can add your own image. I do it all the time. That's why I'm like, I don't know why this is tripping today. Let's see. It's loading. It's at the very end. Okay, there we go. See? It lets you add. This was, again, just for an event that I did, but it does let you add your own banners. Okay, so you can do it. Let me do it again with my business name to show you guys how I would do it. Let me add a page. Let's go here. And you don't have to say a bunch of things and all of that. You could literally just do your business name, okay? Or your logo if you want to include your logo. I'm just going to include my logo. Copy. I'm literally just going to include my logo and a solid background. Yeah, we could do a solid background. But again, it's up to you. If you want to add your tagline, you can add your tagline on there. If you want to add whatever you want to add on there, you can do that. So let's change the image one more time. Upload, browse. And I'm emphasizing this because I want y'all to know that this option is here. Oh, I did the same one. Hold on. Cancel. The option is there to kind of make it more, custom to your brand. So keep that in mind, guys. Is it this one? Okay, I did my logo a little bit too big. So I would go back and make it a little bit smaller. But look, how cute. You keep it simple. I showed you guys how to create the colors for it to make the form more custom to you. I showed y'all everything. So let's see. Let me go back here. Love this class. Hold on. Make sure I don't miss anything. Love this class. Thank you, Tracy. Where do you get your banners made? I'm looking for retractable banners. Stickers and banners is a good place that you can go, Crafty Sis. It's online. It's based. I don't know if they have one in LA. They might, Crafty Sis. But I know they have one in Georgia, and they usually ship same day if you order before 4 p.m. Perhaps we can do a class on large prints for small printers and how to create banners to send to print. We can do that. When I do those polls, y'all need to answer them poll questions so I can kind of know, what y'all want next. Cool, thanks for showing how to add the banner. You're welcome, Crafty Sis Jade. I think that was the last thing that we didn't add on here. But now y'all know how to add the banner. Y'all know how to make the order form your brand colors. Y'all know how to add your different questions. Y'all know which questions to include, which to not. Again, just going back to what's most important. If you are that Crafty Sis who feels like everybody is your customer, I want you to go back to the drawing board, okay? Everybody is not your customer. Choose who your ideal customer is and cater to that person only, okay? That's going to help you open more doors for other things in your business. I know it may feel like it's not, especially if you're a creative, if you're a crafter, if you do custom items and things like that. I know it's hard for us to narrow things down and to kind of say, no, we're just going to focus on one thing. But I promise you guys, it's going to open the door for so much more. So I'm saying that again, because even down to the order form, it matters, right? You don't want the order form to be clogged up with a bunch of options because the customer is not going to know what to do with that. And they're going to say, wait, I just came here for those chip bags and water that I saw. So I'm going to just go where I know I could get it. Okay. So keep that in mind. Don't confuse the people with too many options. Stick to your audience. If you know that the people that you serve is busy moms who are throwing birthday parties for their little ones, right? Only cater to them in the order form. Make it make sense. Make it easier. Only cater to them in what you're offering, right? If you have multiple audiences, you just have to make sure that you're clear on what offer is for that particular audience, because you don't talk to the busy mom the same way you talk to the business owner. You don't talk to the person throwing a conference the same way you talk to the person throwing a employee appreciation party. So keep that in mind. This makes it so much easier, even down to the order form, down to the questions that you're asking on the form. It makes it easier when you narrow down your audience, because now the order form makes sense, right? Now, if all you're talking to is busy moms who throw parties, right? Not only is it going to make it super clear when they land on your page, your website, wherever, because they're going to see themselves within your content. It also makes it clear for the order form. So for the order form, you can put the extra details as far as how old is the person turning? Is it for a toddler, teenager, or adult? Is it for, are you doing a theme or a color scheme? Or are you including, and you can put specific party favors and things like that. Versus when you're trying to cater to a broader audience, it's hard to give specifics because then the order form will be 10 pages long. Right? So keep all of those different things in mind. And y'all know I got the teacher side of me, got to give those parts of it too, because overall making consistent sales is so much more than just posting content and having offering your products, right? It's so much more than just that. You have to know who you're talking to know what type of content to post. You have to know what they want and what benefits they get from getting it, because people don't just wake up saying, I want to buy party favors. No, you show them the need for it, because again, a party favor is a want. It's not a need. So you show them why they want to have it at their party, because we know it's not a necessity, right? And the why is going to be because you want your party to stand out. You want your little ones to feel extra special. You want to show your guests appreciation for coming. You want to, all of those things are things that you can say to that busy mom. You want to save time, right? When it comes to throwing your baby's party, you don't want to wait last minute like you do every year. And you can say those things because you know how busy moms think, right? And I'm speaking to myself too, in a sense, because I'm that same busy mom. So I'm able to cater to that audience of people. That's probably why I gravitated towards doing it for moms to start, because I know how it felt to be that mom or that auntie helping my sister that's going crazy, waiting last minute and going to Dollar Tree and the stuff not looking cute because you went to Dollar Tree when you could have spent this $500 with Canvas Bling, right? Look, I'm giving y'all this is the marketing part of it, right? This is all the stuff that you should be addressing when you know who your audience is. What if you don't just make party favors? How can you add both party favors and treats? You can add both, Crafty Sis. You would just put an option to say right here. So where we have right here where we have type of favors needed, you can put type of items needed, right? And then you can put edible favors and snacks. You can put the snack options, because I didn't elaborate on this, but you can put more options on here. Instead of edible favors and snacks, you can put custom chips or snacks. You can put custom juice. You can put custom drinks. You can put coloring books. You can put candy apples. You can put whatever on here. So I would just put it under the types of favors needed or type of items needed if it's more than just favors. And then you can put here your different options. The same with these. I put these and they're just general, but you can actually list what's in your packs, right? You can put what's included in each one. This also lets you add images. So let me open it so you can see. You can add an image here. So if you wanted to, let me go to upload. I'm just going to add the same image of my logo, but let's say you wanted this image to be, let's see this one. Let's say you wanted it to be this image, right? You could add your options for your custom treats that you make on here, as well as the options for the party favors that they can choose from. Okay, so for some reason, this particular image, it don't want to add it on here. I wanted y'all to see this image so bad, but let me pick something else. Let's pick this again. But you can add images on here too. Hopefully it doesn't say this is too big. So you can add your options here if you wanted to, right? So let's say the starter pack, you want 3 sections here, and you want to include starter pack and what's in it. It includes 3 dozen party favors plus a dozen candy apples. Then you put boom, your deluxe pack. It includes this. So you can add pictures too on here. I know I didn't mention that earlier, but you can. I'm gonna remove that picture. You can also add videos on here. So if you wanted to say, hey mama, I wanted to let you know that our starter, or if you wanted to do a video where you're explaining the different options, create your YouTube channel like I told y'all 2 weeks ago. But you can include that video on here where you're explaining the different parts or you're showing them what it looks like. So get creative, but there's more options here of things you can do. So that's how I would do it, sis. Okay. Oh, it lets you add. Okay, so it does also let you add multiple pages too. So if you wanted it to be, let's say you wanted this section to say member intake. I mean, not member, I'm sorry, customer intake. And then this is order details. You could add those sections on there too, but I'm going to delete that because this is a 1-page one. I'm going to delete the section. A deleting section also deletes the questions. Oh, golly. Okay, let me go here. Okay, I just undid it. Undid it. All right, so that's the option too. You're welcome, sis. So that was good question. Look, that made me give y'all something else that I didn't realize that I didn't even cover. Any other questions? Y'all see how the questions is what helps me make the live better? Yes, we have to create a channel before y'all better create it now. Y'all better create it now. Look, I'm glad I took it serious. It's almost been a year now since I took my YouTube serious. In January was when I really said I'm going to consistently post, but I really started posting at the end of last year, around September. Well, yeah, almost a year now. Oh my goodness, the time flies. Yeah, last year, or was it? No, it probably was before that, y'all. I think I'm getting my years jumbled up because, yeah, I've been monetized for at least a year now. So y'all better take it serious before the changes happen or not. I mean, it just depends on what your goals are, right? So if your goal is not really to make money off of YouTube, which if you're creating content anyway, you may as well. But if that's not your goal, that's fine. You can just create your channel just to give the important information that your customers need, so that when it's things like this where you want to explain something to them, or if you want to show them a quick how-to tutorial of how to assemble the labels that you're selling them. So I always find ways to work smarter within my business, and I found a way to kind of make everything connect. So it just depends on what your goals are too. But if your goal is to get monetized, you better do it now, because I think come February they're doubling the requirements. So where it was 4,000 watch hours, it's going to be 8,000 watch hours. So before you could even get monetized. So yes, definitely. Yeah. Take it serious, y'all. Take your business serious, because your business can literally change your life if you take it serious. If you follow all the stuff that I've been teaching, well, it probably will be a little harder if you only follow me on YouTube and on Instagram. But if you're a part of my community, then y'all already know. Let me show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. So if you're not a part of the creative circle, I highly recommend you join us, y'all. I'm gonna go here just to kind of show y'all, and I'm only gonna show y'all show y'all all of it. But just here alone, y'all, just here alone, these are all lessons. So for y'all asking for classes, I literally teach a class, not just one, 2 classes every Monday. A mini lesson in the morning, and then we go and we dive deeper in the evening on Mondays. Every morning, every Monday, the ladies that's a part of the creative circle, they're getting these full lessons, y'all. Look, we're on seat, and we're not even on seat 19. We're on seat 20, because I didn't post this week's seat on here yet, but I need to post it for this week, which is really 21, because it's another one right here. But they're learning, y'all. They're learning the business side of things and all the important things that it takes in order to grow your business. Because like I mentioned earlier, it's so much more than just posting online, right? Posting online is one way to help, but overall in your business. Oh, and if you're in TCC, y'all, drop me a review, y'all, if you can. Drop me a review to let everyone know what it's like to be a part of the creative circle, because again, they just added this feature, but it helps other people to see why this community matters, right? And if you can, drop me a detailed review whenever you have time, so that people can read about what you love about the creative circle. Okay, so they're learning, y'all, all of the things that I'm teaching you guys in there. I promise, if you apply the information, this is all things that I'm literally doing actively in my business right now, or had to do in the beginning to get things going. So I don't teach anything that I don't know, guys. I teach you everything that is going to help your business grow. But you just have to follow through, right? Because all I can do is give the information. After giving the information, it's up to you to follow through. Pour into yourself, pour into your businesses. The moment I told myself, I gave my 9 to 5 my all, okay, when I was there. I was the person meeting all of the goals that they put in place and exceeding them. I was the person going above and beyond for the members of my job. I was the person going above and beyond to be a good teammate for my fellow colleagues, right? To make sure that everybody, I was that person. I was the person that my manager could lean on. All of those things. I poured a lot of energy into my 9 to 5. So when I said, let me take my business serious, the only shift in mindset was the same exact pouring that I'm doing for my 9 to 5, I need to now do for myself. I need to now do for my business. And guess what? Before I was able to quit my 9 to 5, I was still pouring into both. Okay. I was pouring into my 9 to 5, and I was pouring into myself after clocking out. I was clocking back in to pour into myself. So it just depends on how bad do you want it, right? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want your business to grow? If that's your goal. We're talking about business today, so that's what we're focused on. But if that's your goal, you can absolutely do it, guys. You can do anything you set your mind to. You just have to set your mind to it. That's the main thing. You have to set your mind to it. And I promise you guys, look, and I'm giving y'all a little extra because I ain't come on live for the crafty chat yesterday. I didn't make it on live, but I'm giving it to you now, right? You can do anything you set your mind to, guys. I absolutely promise you that you can. But sometimes it does take sacrifices, right? It took me not really having that much rest for a period of time in order to get myself organized, in order to get in the right mind state, in order to put myself out there. It took me doing vendor events absolutely scared, even though I'm not scared of people, I'm not scared to talk. But when I had to switch it, mind you, I was doing vendor events all the time for my jobs because we had to do on-site all the time to open up accounts for people on site all the time, setting up a table and all. But I had to shift my mindset when it was time to do it for myself. I had to tell myself, there's nobody telling you that you have to go on this on site. You have to be the one to look for those events, to find those opportunities for yourself, right? And when you go there, and I would admit, when I first would do vendor events, I would be the person sitting at the table and nervous when people were walking by. And if they were looking a little bit like, what's that over there? I wasn't the one telling them, come on over. Come, let me tell you about Canvas Bling, right? I was shy about it just because it was something new, but I was still doing it scared. But fast forward to now, it had to be like that for day one, right? Fast forward to now, when I do vendor events, I know not to sit at the table. I know to get up to invite people in. I know to have things at my table that's going to attract people to come and want to interact. I know to have samples so they know what my offers are, right? I know to have some in place so that I could build my email list while I'm there. I know to, if I see them passing by and looking curious, I'm telling them, come on over. Come on over. Let me show you what we got, right? I know to do those things now, but it had to take me doing it scared first in order to get there. Even down to content. I wasn't always the best content creator. Now I'm about a content pro, okay? But I wasn't always the best content creator or knowing what to do. I just knew I needed to put myself out there. So I did it more and more and more. And the more you do, the more you learn. The more you want to learn, the more you grow. The more you grow, the more opportunities come for you. But the more you stay in your shell, the more you're afraid to put yourself out there, the more you're afraid to talk about your business, the more you're afraid to pour into yourself what you poured into your 9 to 5, the less results you'll see. And that's just how things go, right? We do things scared. Everybody that you see putting yourself out there, it's not that they just have this thing that they could just do anything, and it's not that they're not scared too, right? But we're doing it scared. We're doing it anyway. We're putting ourselves out there so that those opportunities that we want can gravitate towards us. Nothing's going to gravitate towards you if you're not making yourself visible, which is what our whole topic was for the entire month of August for the Creative Circle, is visibility. But visibility comes in many forms, guys, in many forms. Okay. Let's see. Yes, it is so much value. You need to be in the room. I love it here. Yes, I'm so glad you're a part of the Creative Circle. Crafty Sis Lyric for sure. Hello, Leona from New York. How's the weather? I be wondering how's the weather, because the last time I went to, or the only time I went to New York, it was so cold, but it was January. It was so cold that I was like, I want to go to New York again where I can actually enjoy it more, because I don't really like the cold that much. And we were like so freezing, although it was beautiful, but it was so cold. Raining today. Okay. It's been raining all last week here too in Florida. But not today. It's a nice sunny day today. Crafty Sis Alicia said, exactly what, sis? Which part? I was saying so many things. Which part? But yeah, and the reason why I'm even saying all of this, and we have we'll end in 2 minutes because we're almost at the 2-hour mark. The reason why I'm saying all of these things is because I believe in you guys. I believe in y'all. I see so much potential in y'all. Okay. But you got to believe in you too. You have to believe in your potential. You have to believe in yourself. And it's one thing just to say, I believe in myself. If your mind knows if you're lying, right? Your mind knows if you're lying. And the only way you can actually know that you believe in yourself is when you put yourself out there. Put yourself out there and try those things that you're afraid to try. Put yourself out there and don't be afraid of what people are going to say or what people think. Or most people, the problem is you're thinking about the people in your everyday life when they don't matter in your business, right? I'm not saying they don't matter in your business like that, but the people in your everyday life, like you're afraid to put yourself out there, because I know that was one of my thoughts. Let me speak for myself. That was one of my thoughts, is that, oh my goodness, they're going to see me posting online and going live and blah, blah, blah. But guess what? It's to the point now where I don't even go on my personal profiles, which, I mean, you can still, if you're active on your personal profiles, promote on there too. But for me, for the most part, I haven't posted since my dog died in 20. Let me see. The last time I posted on my personal page, because guess what? I told myself, if I'm gonna be on social media, it's not gonna be for no reason. I'm not spending time just idly, just carelessly doom scrolling and not doing something that's productive for my life, right? So now my focus, oh, hold on. Oh, I took off the post of my dog dying. Oh no, I had something after that. Okay. But it was still about my business, y'all. It was about my business. The last time I posted was in January, but the last time before that was in July 2025. It was about my business. Before that, it was November of 2024. And before that, it was July of 2023, y'all. I don't post on my personal pages because my personal pages don't do nothing to elevate me. Okay. It don't do nothing to help me grow. The people that I knew from high school and my cousins and them, no, not my cousins, because my cousins be supporting my business. So I can't say that. But the people that I knew from high school and all of that, for the most part, they don't do nothing for my business, y'all. They're the same people that will see the stuff and not even like or comment. But if something big happens, then here comes everybody. Oh my goodness, it's so cool to see you doing this. And it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know you saw. So don't be afraid to show up because of those people, is what I'm trying to say. Because they don't matter when it comes to your business, right? Show up for the people who your products and services are meant for. Imagine me being afraid to show up and now having an entire community of ladies who look to me to help them show up. Imagine me not following what God has placed on my heart to do, right? Because I'm worried about what people might think of me. And the whole while, I have lives to impact. I'm on a mission, okay? My mission is literally to uplift, motivate, and inspire women to know that we can do anything that we set our minds to. Imagine me not showing up in that fully, right? Because I'm afraid of what other people might say, or I'm holding myself back because a lot of times they might not even say nothing, okay? But it's us thinking that way and kind of holding us back. So imagine me never going live again because when I first was going live, nobody was there but my husband, right? And when he couldn't be there, it was 0. Imagine me never going live because of that. Instead of still doing it, whether there was one person, 2 people, right? Because that's what happens. It went from 0 people to 1 person to 2 people to 5 people to 10 people, right? But imagine if I never showed up because of giving up, is what I'm saying, okay? So believe in yourself. Do what you got to do. Do it scared. You can do it. You got this. Look, you are worthy. You are beautiful. You are kind, or whatever that movie said, right? You can do whatever you set your mind to, but you have to do it scared. You have to do it unprepared. You have to do it with not knowing what step 10 is, but being only worried about step 1. You can do it, but you just have to. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how else to say it. Crafty Sis literally said, I'm glad you did, sis. Thank you, sis. Thank you. I don't know how else to say it, but do what you got to do, y'all. We're literally halfway through the year. You can't go another year saying all the things that you could have been doing, right? I made a post, a repost about how I've heard so many times people saying, oh my, I just feel like I should be so much further. I feel like I should be. No. But you shouldn't be though. You are where you are based on what you put in. And y'all know I don't sugarcoat, right? I'm one of those people. I'm gonna tell y'all how it is. And the same goes for me too. Wherever I think I should be or I wish I was, I'm where I am based on the level of effort that I have put in so far. And that goes for everybody, right? So no matter what the capacity is, and I'm not telling you to drive yourself crazy or anything like that. No, I'm saying just try your best with what your capacity is. It was a point where for me, my excuse, okay? Look, I'm saying not excuse because I'm not there, but excuse, okay, was my kids. Like, oh my goodness, like the whole day revolves around them, literally. And that's how I felt. The whole day revolves around them. It's what they want to do. And of course, it was when they were smaller too. But taking account, I finally took accountability and I said, okay, but there's times where these kids are sleeping. But guess what? You're sleeping too. No, you need to wake up. That 5 o'clock hour where for between 5 to 8, pretty much, you know they're not up yet. Get up and do what you got to do. Get up and make it happen. Right? Get up before they get up. Find a way to make it work. Put them on a schedule. I got lucky too with right now because, before I had to do what I had to do with waking up extra early just to be able to get things done or feel like I'm able to get things done around the house and for my business. But now they're last year only one was in school, but now they're both in school. So I literally create my schedule around that to make it work, y'all. From 8 to 2, y'all see 2 is 2 o'clock now. Now I'm off. I'm off until I gotta let them get out, spend the time with them, take them to the park. If they ask, if they don't ask it, I ain't going because it's hot. But take them to the park, spend time with them, jump on a trampoline, do homework, all the good things, get them showered and ready for bed. That way they're already showered by the time 7 o'clock comes for me to do my live tonight. If y'all missed it earlier, the live tonight is going to be at 7 instead of 8 because I have another prior obligation at 8 o'clock today. But I do what I got to do between 8 to 2, y'all, because that's when they're in school. That's when I have a little bit of time. So make sure that you're making it work for yourself. Of course, don't drive yourself crazy. Do what you can, but don't be the person that's not giving maximum effort is what I'm saying. If you know you have more within you to be able to give to yourself, do it. And do what you got to do to kind of find, we talked about that in the creative circle. I did a post about it, but in your business, and I'll close it with this because y'all know I got to go at this point, but within your business, find joy within your business. Don't just do stuff for the money, because if you're just doing it for the money, when there is no money, you're going to get discouraged, right? Versus if you're doing stuff because you have passion behind it, you know what you love to do. Like for me, for example, I love helping women. I love helping make things beautiful. I love helping people feel special about moments that should be special. I love romanticizing everyday things. I love making things pretty. I love making people feel special. I love feeling special. I love making my kids feel special. I love being extra, right? So I pour that into my business and I find ways to make that make sense for the business too. I love giving back to people. I love pouring into people. So I found a corner in my business to be able to pour into people. Find what you love within your business too, because it's not going to feel like work. It's going to feel like you enjoy it. That's one of the questions that I always get is, how did you stay consistent all this time? And if you're an OG Crafty Sis, literally been doing these lives since 2020. Hell, I was doing it from the hospital bed when I was stuck at the hospital having my last one, right? So I'm able to consistently show up because I love what I do. I love helping people build confidence enough to for themselves in their businesses. I love it. I love giving back. That's why I give back within my business too, right? I find ways to give back within my business because it's a part of what I love. So find what you love and integrate that in your business, because I promise you it's going to make showing up so much easier, right? It's going to make showing up so much easier. Okay. And when you love what you do, it doesn't matter. No matter what, you're going to show up. Even to now, look how it's 22 people here right now. And the only people I see in the chat is the same Crafty Sisters that I always see week after week, right? I don't know who the other people are, but I know what I'm saying is resonating because they're still here. And whoever else is here, hey, Crafty Sis. And if you're not crafty, hey, creative. Oh, creative people are still crafty, right? But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter if the rest of them ever talk, because I get to talk to the people that's here, and I love giving feedback to who. You get what I'm saying? When you love what you do, everything else doesn't matter. When you love what you do, it's easy to show up. So find what you love within your business, and it's going to help you. Look, I'm giving y'all a little TCC love right now, but even down to narrowing down your offers, right? Find a part of the creative business that you love, That way it's easy for you to show up. It's easy for you to put ideas together. It's easy for you to branch ideas off of ideas. It's easy for you to create your own lane within the industry so you don't feel like the industry is oversaturated, because you don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You could literally be doing the same exact thing in a completely different way. Okay? Be a trailblazer. I'm gonna have to do another live, okay? Because I gotta go. Y'all know I gotta go get in that car ride line. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I hope you found this live helpful. Once it's posted, go back and leave me a comment. And y'all see, I say that every time, even though sometimes it be 0 comments. 0. But I know it's not because y'all don't want to, it's because y'all forgot. But I'm still saying it every time, right? I'm still gonna say it because I'm grateful for the 2-3 comments that be left on there. But come back, drop a comment, let the people know what you thought about the live. It helps for YouTube to push the live into the algorithm. If you missed this live, go back to the beginning. I literally taught you from start to finish how to create a Google form for your business, whether you're doing it as an order form, whether you're doing it as a contact form. You're able to now do it and customize it to match your business. So we're eliminating excuses all of 2026. Even if you don't have a website, it's okay. You can still show up and create systems in your business to help things work smoother for you overall, okay? With that, I'm going to let y'all go. I will see y'all back at 7 p.m. For the Member Edits Live tonight. Bye, ladies.